Oh, this weather is setting me off, girl.
What you mean?
I'm depressed.
Oh, Amber stepped outside and said it's warm enough to go to Mimi's pool.
It is absolutely not.
I said, I don't think it is. She said, well, you don't have a pool, so maybe you should call your sister.
We've had this conversation about how it has to be warm, like a certain degree, for so many days in a row. And they went and stuck their hands in it, so I mean, it's not like they don't know.
So now you're the reason that she's obsessed with talking to Alexa. Alexa, what's the temperature today?
Yeah, that is my fault. Yeah, my rule is I don't care how they get through homework, just get through homework. Like we're at that point in the year where I don't give a shit. If it's not sticking, it's not going to. What's up, guys? Welcome back for another episode of Elite Life with Sam
and Danny.
I don't even know where to start today.
Girl, I don't know. You got me in here recording after we done ate. I'm going to take a nap.
This is going to be the most random. We haven't even discussed what we were going to discuss.
Well, I got a good topic. Have you ever seen them little memes? Well, all over them social medias talk about nap dates or a thing.
What?
Nap dates.
Were you nap together?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, you've been married too long. So, any hoodles, I think we should take a vote. Is nap podcasting a thing?
I think that's ASMR. Hold on. Let's rewind. Huh? Because this sounds like literally heaven.
Oh, it is.
But
well, it depends.
Do you snuggle the date?
Oh, if you nap date with me, we snuggling. And if you bitch about my cold feet, you got to go.
Where does this nap take place?
I would assume whoever's bed is the most comfortable. Or couch, because listen, there was this one time. Old boy's couch.
Oh, yes.
Listen,
yes.
I ain't going to lie. I was the one.
I think you dated him for the couch.
I circled back a few times. I was like, hey, what you doing? You're just chilling. You alone?
You still got that couch in your living room?
I asked one time if I could just stop in to take a nap because I didn't feel like driving the extra 30 minutes.
Are you serious?
Yeah, but I was at home. They didn't know that. They thought I was traveling.
Oh, my God.
Sometimes it's okay to tell white lies. Yeah. But he said yeah.
Okay, but is this like a first date, second date, after you've been dating a little while? Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I'm asking this. Because I did a thing this week.
Well, you're married, so.
No.
I'm hoping it wasn't a nap date.
No. Okay, so we have an employee here who is, I just love him to pieces. He's like one of our good friends, all the things. And he's an old soul. Like he's a young guy, but he's an old soul, right? And so he's not built for dating apps because they just are like, that's not the way he dates. That's not the way he communicates. Like, he's like old school.
Let's be honest. He don't communicate in person either. He gives you judgmental looks.
He does that too. But like his hobbies and his interests are, different. And so anyways, he's talking to me about this and I'm just like, oh, how do you date in Nashville? And he's like, exactly. Like you don't. It's impossible. It's really hard. Which brings up a whole conversation about the dating culture now is broken. I feel like it's no wonder it's very, very toxic.
Well, it's because there's so many sectors of it. I don't think it's really dating all the time, right? Like, are you dating? Are you hooking up? Are you...
Like, young people that are not interested in hookup culture or partying culture, how are they supposed to meet one another in a place like Nashville? Because, like, where do you gather to socialize and organically meet people, right?
Girl, I don't know, because my living room, because I'm not going to Nashville.
Right. And so, I don't know, things have just gotten so, we're more connected, but also more disconnected now than ever, in my opinion, because social media, we're almost more voyeuristic than ever before. And I feel like females have been able to connect more, but like romantically, it's harder to connect because, you're out in public and I don't know, maybe it's raising 3 boys and hearing things from their perspectives. You know, they're very, very intimidated, and not that they would like approach a female to be ugly or rude or anything like that, but it is scary because you don't know if you're going to make them feel uncomfortable. And so I always try to encourage them, like, if you just be respectful, you know, don't put her in a situation where she feels threatened or, you know, scared or intimidated or anything like that, you'll be fine. However, of course they don't know. Anyways, I'm getting off the subject. It's so hard to date organically in Nashville and the surrounding areas. Not saying it can't be done, but he's not from here, right? And so he doesn't have like a close knit group of friends. And I think back to when I was dating and how I met Rich online, like on a dating app, and we're kind of like super unique. Like our situation was really odd. And I'm just thankful that it played out the way that it
Off
did.
that app for sure.
Yeah, because we're on Tinder.
Yeah.
And so we ended up like literally from the first night, we've been together ever since. That's it. That it was like, might as well put a ring on it. But that's so unusual. So, anyways, I asked his approval of this. Obviously, I didn't do this behind his back, but I posted him on a girls group just vouching for him. Like, because a few weeks back he had seen a girl and was like, I didn't get her name, I didn't get her number, I was too intimidated like approach her or anything like that. He's very, very shy. And so I went on there and I was like, does this sound like anybody you know? And it came up nothing. And so I was like, all right, let's try this again. Like, last ditch effort. This is a super sweet, unique human.
It took off really well at first.
It did. It did.
But you never told me like how many.
Okay, so there's kind of two sides to this. So everybody initially was like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. Like, they remembered the previous post and they were like, oh, following along. Like, we love, you know, modern fairy tale, whatever. So then on this one, they were like, oh my gosh, this is the guy, you know, okay. And so people start suggesting, and I'd love to talk to him and, you know, all the things. And of course I went through because I didn't want to set him up for failure or her up for failure. And knowing what I know about him, like, he couldn't be with like a super country girl, right? That's not his lifestyle. Or he couldn't be with, he can't be with somebody who's like in their late 30s or, you know, whatever. He's 23 years old.
I don't know. I think Xavier would do quite well with a cougar.
Late 20s, I think, is kind of the cutoff.
I really hope you didn't veto all the cougars.
I did, but listen, hold on. Because I'm not trying to set him up for a fling. I want him to, like, set up for a relationship. He's a relationship guy, right? He's not like a hookup kind of guy. What?
Because you ain't let him have a cougar yet.
Danielle.
Everybody needs one.
Okay. Anyways, so we go through it. All of a sudden, I start getting moms on here going, I want to introduce him to my daughter, but she has a boyfriend. And then tells me like a whole thing about their daughters. And I'm like, wait, we got to stop at your girl's got a boyfriend.
What are you doing? Well,
seriously meddling. It happened several times to the point where I had to start asking the moms, like, hey, does your daughter know you're doing this? Like, if there's no consent here, we're not, no. Like, both parties have to be in the know.
Did you ask follow-up questions?
Yes, I did.
Like, what's wrong with old boy? Why you don't like him?
I didn't ask that. I did not ask that, but we still can. I think I'm going to take the post down just because he's kind of hit it off with someone's
daughter?
No.
Oh.
I did not. No, I would not do that. Like, she has to be involved in the conversation. We're not just going to, because, nothing grinds my, what's that saying? Grinds my gears, chafes my chaps. Nothing pisses me off more than a meddly parent. I can't handle it. Like, be close with your kids, be involved, give advice. But when you start stepping over that line of, I'm going to start making decisions and controlling things. Had it been, oh my gosh, my daughter would, I want my daughter to meet this guy, tag her, get her involved in the chat. But I'm not going through you to set them up.
No, but we definitely want to go through you to find out what's wrong with the current boyfriend. Why we don't like him.
He's not, from the way she made it sound, he's not like driven, and he doesn't support her in her, because she's a very driven young woman, and he's just kind of like lazy.
Ew.
Yeah. So I understand. However, so it just, and then tell me how the fuck it got political off of me posting about my friend, and there was this one comment that was really cool and was like, this is so great. I would love, wouldn't you love if every guy came with like a female vouching for him, saying he's a good guy, blah, blah, blah. Like, and I was like, that's such a good perspective to have, because that can make you feel a little more at ease and a little more safe, being like, yeah, I've known him. Not saying that covers all sins.
Yeah, but where does politics come in at?
I don't know. She literally was like, this is great and wonderful, but it would be nice if you included his political views. And I was like, first of all, why? First of all, for me, you got to understand, I'm 38 years old, and I don't think, like, that's not something I'm just going to ask somebody. That, to me, I understand the current climate.
Yeah, but here's the problem. You're this up-and-coming generation, whereas, yes, the political stance is going to be important.
But that's not for me.
Because here's what these young people are looking at, or not even just young people, even people my age that are getting back into the dating scene. They have this list of, hard yeses, hard no's, dislikes, likes. Y'all, you can't find it out on day one, because here's what I've learned. You may have things that you are super against.
You hear that helicopter? Yeah. Okay.
There may be things that you're like, oh my God, I could never deal with that. But you would be surprised when you...
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but that, to me, goes in the same bucket as a whole bunch of other things that need to be discussed between the two. Not me. I don't know who he voted for, if he even voted. Shit, you've never voted before. I don't make that a common practice of asking people, who did you vote for? Like, if it comes up in conversation and you offer that information, cool. You know what else I don't ask? What's your cycle? What size of underwear do you like thongs? Do you like briefs? Do
That's
you like
the magic of getting
boxers?
to know somebody. Save some of the juicy questions.
Right. And so I was like, girl, her and a couple of other women went in on me. I'm like, that, for me personally, and if we're celebrating people making their own personal decisions, that's not a question I'm just going to randomly ask people, because I don't think anybody is bad or good on either side. I think there are fantastic Republicans. I think there are fantastic Democrats. I think there are shit Republicans, and I think there are shit Democrats. And I think both sides are fucking in it for themselves. Not the people who vote, but the politicians are in it for greed and control. And I don't subscribe to either side, not because I'm so privileged or whatever, but because I'm going to hear out the person for themselves. And so I feel like that's just a conversation for people to have between themselves. You know what I'm also not going to do? Out somebody for their sexual orientation. Like, there's just so many. I'm also not going to talk about people's kinks publicly. Like, not that I know his kinks. I don't. I'm just saying I don't know what kind of underwear he wears either. This is getting into a really weird area. Hold on. So, I don't know. It got weird.
Have we gotten any of them through the approval process?
Yes.
How many?
3.
Uh-huh.
It's like a dating show.
I'm surprised he let that many come through.
I am too.
He's worse than you at being picky.
That is true, but I think it shows growth, and I think it also shows how good at this I am.
Oh, jeez. Wait just a damn minute. Hold on.
I think you should let me start picking for you.
You've lost your goddamn mind. What?
No,
You-
I'm talented.
Samantha Nicole, do you,
Mm-hmm. You can say it. It's fine.
that's a terrible idea.
No, it's not.
It's terrible.
No,
It's-
I can hear you're almost to the yes. Just keep working through it.
Actually, I'm going to tell you, my brain is working because I ain't been on them there dating apps talking shit to nobody, and I feel like... But then I feel bad because I feel like you'd be setting somebody up with no forewarning.
No, I would. No, like, I feel like I gave his elevator pitch well, because what I didn't say is he's a sarcastic ass. Even though he can be, I said he has a dry, sarcastic sense of humor. Right? So I think I gave the elevator pitch perfectly. Obviously, it worked because we have 3 fantastic candidates. I know who my pick is, but I'm keeping that mumsy. But we shall see. He's got a couple dates set up.
Does he?
He does. He does.
He ain't going to tell me.
He will tell me.
He'll tell me later.
He will tell me. And I think the next one is going to be his roommate. Not date. I'm going to set him up. I'm going to find him
You're going to find the roommate a girlfriend.
a girlfriend. Yes.
Okay, I was like, are we dating the roommate? Are we getting a new roommate?
No. They've been roommates for years.
You know what? Now listen, I'm going to be real honest. I'm happy with my little situation at the moment. I'm satisfied enough.
This is the most perfect I have seen for you probably ever. Can I talk about it?
A little bit.
I'm going to let you tell what you're comfortable telling, and then I'll talk in those
It's a man.
parameters.
I haven't cussed him out. I'm pretty nice to him.
You are. I'll tell you this.
He don't get on my damn nerves.
I'll say this. When we went on our double date and we left, Rich had 2 comments. two statements. He said, she was wearing a damn dress and high heels. I said, she was. Didn't she look pretty? He said, yes, she did. And she sure was quiet. That's really rare. I said, I think she was nervous.
I was, because listen, I had them damn Spanx on, first of all.
I think you were nervous to see how they interacted.
No, not they. No, I don't worry about Richard. I
Me?
worry about Samantha.
I'm nice. Oh, well,
Oh!
in the beginning.
Oh! Do you know why we went there early? He was like, you need a glass or 2 of wine. I was like, I might not. Which made it worse because I forgot I was in heels. And I was like, this was a terrible idea.
Mm-hmm. You
So I
don't
had-
do well just sober walking around.
I had a dress on. First of all, it already makes me uncomfortable.
Uh-huh.
Second of all, I had heels on. Third of all, I had to walk some up and down the stairs in heels. I had a hot flash. Then I could feel myself sweating. Then I'm uncomfortable because I'm in Spanx and a dress. And on top of that, I had me a glass of wine in me, which it
Makes you
does
flush.
yeah, and I was like, this is just what I need, something to pop off. And I'm gonna be irritated because I can feel sweat up under my boobies at this point. Like I just want to go home and get in my pajamas.
You
But then
worry
it went
too much.
fine.
It did. I think it went great. He has fantastic taste in wine. He and I ended up splitting a bottle.
I love that for y'all.
And him and Rich had great conversation. I think it went really well. And here's what I'll say.
Yeah, he thinks you guys are great.
He doesn't like you anymore?
Oh, absolutely, he likes me.
Okay.
I don't know why he likes me. Because
Because you're fabulous.
I am fabulous. I just don't fit. I don't know.
Why? Because he's older.
That don't mean nothing because that man runs circles around me.
That's what I was going to say. He's young. He's very young at heart. Like the way he dresses and the way he talks about life. And I think you needed, like, it was important for you to have a much more mature person in your life, not just in age, but in mentality too, who's experienced life, who can get you out of your comfort zone.
I was supposed to hang out with him a little bit on Sunday, and I'm like, can we stay inside? Inside.
I outsided too much this weekend.
He was like, well, we can if you want to. I was like, I mean, if you want to sit on the balcony, that's fine. But not for long, because I think it's going to be warm. I definitely suggested a nap date.
I'm telling you, if I had known about nap dates, we might have had a much easier time early on in our relationship.
Girl, I discovered that in 2019.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I feel like you're a little more worldly than me. I'm more
A lot of worldly.
I'm more traditional, which is crazy.
It really is.
It is nuts cuz I'm not traditional in anything else. But in my relationships, I am. I'm like, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I want to be taken care of, I want to be called beautiful, like I'll do your laundry.
Listen, that aspect of me is another reason I was really surprised it would work. Like, I just assumed the age gap would cause some uncomfortable conversations to arise. Because, I don't lie. Like, I don't care if you don't like what I've done or what I do.
Yeah,
And just
I
'cause
almost think you use that as a test to see like if they'll run off.
Espe-
Because you don't just ease into it. You're like, "Pwah, here it is."
Well, we not pussyfooting around any of the topics. Like, let's just put it on the table, because if you're going to piss me off today, so I still got time to go get a snack and go home and get my moo. But I just love that he receives information like this. Okay. And I know when it's going to be good questions, because he takes a minute.
Uh-huh.
And he's hyper. He's so hyper. He's always moving and walking.
Yes.
And he was like, so let me ask you. And I've told him from the beginning, whatever you ask me, ask yourself two things. Do I want to know the truth? If I know the truth, am I comfortable never forgetting it? Like, you can't unlearn what you've learned. You can't. And so far, he'll be like, okay. But he's also great at understanding when I say, I have done X, Y, Z, or here is something that I thought I wanted for life, and then along the way I changed my mind. And he's like, and then what? I'm like, I don't know. Stay tuned. Might change my mind again. And he's like, I freaking love that.
I reserve the right. Absolutely. Yeah, I think that this is the most level, stable, compatible. I'm not excited yet, but we're getting there. We'll see how over the next few weeks how it progresses, because y'all have done it out of town, and you showed a lot of your crazy there. He understands how paranoid you are about intruders.
Listen, and you just dropping the whole, did you know she ran over herself? We're leaving, and he's like, well, honey.
I didn't know he didn't know. But he needs to be prepared. You don't just fall down. You don't just like get a bruise. You have the most unique, like, creative injuries.
Oh, he has seen some of the bruising. So before the weekend getaway, I walked into something. It was either one of those tailgates or the end of my bed. I don't know. It was about that height on my thigh. And it turns black instantly, because you know how I bruise.
Yeah.
So going to get into the hot tub, and he's like, well, honey? And I was like, what? What happened to you? Do you need to get that checked out? Oh, no, it'll turn yellow in a couple days. It'll be fine.
That's not what I need to get checked out.
It's like, does it not hurt? Nope, we're fine. Get in the hot tub. And then he saw one, like, we had come back. Oh, it was my arm. Again, I don't know what I ran into, probably the wall. He was like,
or a door frame.
Jesus, honey. And all I can do is giggle. And he's like, I'm glad this don't worry you.
Not at all. It's just the dementia kicking in.
But we'll see. We're in different phases of life, and we've talked about that.
Yeah.
And a few days ago, he expressed, he was like, this is hard. I knew you were a mom. I knew you were a mom full time. I knew where your boundaries were with that. He's like, and I'm not saying I'm not wanting to be patient, but there's some evenings I'm like, I want to go over. I want her to come over. He said, and selfishly, it's hard sometimes where you're just like, you're being responsible. And I get that. He was like, so I just need to express to you, yeah, you were right. It is hard. And I was like, well,
Yeah.
no shit. I wasn't going to tell you something that wasn't true. And he's like, well, bear with me. I just want to share my feelings.
And I think that's something that also needs to be discussed is men that say, I don't want to date a single mom, I don't think necessarily should be villainized.
Absolutely not.
Because it's not about demonizing her for having a child. It's understanding you make sacrifices I'm not capable of making. It doesn't make them a selfish person. It makes them an honest person.
No, and and this was another conversation that he and I have had. I have had this conversation with other men as well. My preference is to date someone who does not have children or is old enough your children are grown and well situated elsewhere. Because as much as I know if someone is going to make it past that threshold where they're going to be around my kids, it's not that I didn't think I could be a good or valuable asset in someone else's children's lives. I just simply didn't want to.
Yeah.
It was one more responsibility that I decided I didn't want to juggle. Now, there's been a couple of occasions where it has happened.
Yeah.
Don't regret it at all.
Yeah.
Thought it was a great experience, and nothing bad happened. We just simply were not each other's person, so it naturally fizzled out. But he specifically asked, he was like, why older men? Because your children are grown.
Yeah.
And typically there's no baby mama drama, and I don't want to deal with any of it.
Yeah.
This is what works for me. And I have purposefully unmatched or not chosen not to match with people online because they're actively involved. I love that for you, but I want you to find the right person for you and your crew.
Exactly. And I don't think people should be villainized because, we celebrate women for speaking up for themselves and creating boundaries, but I think that goes on both sides. And as much as I say, like, I hate men, I don't hate men. I don't. I just...
Most of them.
Not all of them. Okay, you got to act right. Anyways, like when I was dating eons ago, my 3 questions were, have you ever been married? Right? So is there an ex in the picture? Do you have children?
Mm-hmm.
And are you in the military or law enforcement? Because that's a hard no for me. I couldn't handle that lifestyle.
Yeah.
That takes a special kind of person. That is not moi. And I have the utmost respect for people who can do that, but it's not me because I'm a little loony in that department. I'd be like, hey, I'm going to the jail, whatever. And then I wanted someone who did have children who could understand why I made the decisions that I made or didn't make decisions that, whatever. And then never being married, like, if you don't understand the dynamics of co-parenting with an ex in a peaceful and mature way, you can't be involved in my life because I have busted my ass to work through all of the hard parts of co-parenting and blending families, the whole thing. Not saying that it was because I made those decisions about those boundaries that it was without drama and stress of its own. Yeah. It was. But I think that had I not made those decisions early, then it could have been a whole lot worse. And so I don't think we should villainize people who say, I'm not open to dating somebody with kids. I understand what that takes and I'm not up for it. And reserve the right to change your mind if you meet the right person, because with time comes maturity sometimes, and you could meet the right person who just like changes everything for you. So
I'm learning a lot from this at this phase. I didn't think there was much left to learn, especially in my singlehood.
Mm-hmm.
But there is.
Oh, yeah.
I have found a
I have to say, I'm so proud of your growth. Like, the first couple of years were rough. I'm going to be honest. I was like,
I probably should have been medicated.
we're going to get her there. And then you kept trying to die on me. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. And then we got through all
And
of
because
that,
I was getting over the trauma, and my body was like, "What? We don't have to survive."
which is a whole nother episode because that is so freaking true. Your body, if you haven't read the book, Your Body Keeps the Score, read it. Your Body Keeps Score. I forget how it's worded, but that's basically it. Read it, listen to it on Audible, read it in your bed, read it because you have to physically process trauma. And boy, did you have some trauma.
Bucket loads.
Yeah.
I probably still got some stuck in the closet.
Well, I mean, I think a little bit is like seasoning.
But no, I'm really. There's just so much I can say with certainty now, right? Like, I may not know what down the road looks like, but I don't know. I don't know that I want to be married. I know I don't want to be alone, right? Yeah. But if I am, I'm probably going to be the most gaudiest, alone, single person you've ever seen in your life.
But you could be a gaudy, not single person. What is it? What is the opposite of single?
And I don't know that I want to cohabitate full time with anybody ever again.
See? A good boundary to have. I think that's smart.
And that's the other thing with somebody that's older, right? Like, they're already established, settled. Like, he's got a great little setup. I freaking love his little condo. I want to live there.
Yeah.
I want to do a spend the night.
Yeah, because he's like city living, and you don't like the city, but you like going with him into the city. And so it gets you out of your little bubble.
And then give me a couple days, I'm going to go home. Text me later.
You want to go home to your girl pad with your girl dog and your girl daughter and everything's sparkly and pretty, and I'll see you later.
I like that it's easy. I like this easy. And you know, if it don't work out, it don't work out. But we talked about that too. Like, he's probably going to be one of them that just never go away.
Yeah. Like, you collect people. It freaks me out.
He'd be a good one to collect. He's
You're
solid.
The exact opposite. I don't know how you do this. It stresses me out, and it's not even for me. Danielle, if you better prove, unless we have our DNA in a human. No, we didn't date. I ain't never heard of you before. You can't. No. I don't have exes. I have an ex. Everybody else, I don't know who you are. You're like, oh yeah, so-and-so's coming to Thanksgiving. We're going on vacation this summer. I was talking to.
Speaking of that.
Sharon, Latoya, Melissa. What are you about to drop on me?
I just realized what kind of trauma that probably caused. To my knowledge, no one's coming. However, Facebook memories popped up yesterday, and it was 5 years yesterday that I took that vacation to Gatlinburg and was sitting on that balcony. I was like, oh, yeah. I'm going to end up here. And that's where, right as I was going to the end of that trip, we started talking about, oh, you need to move. And who knew, just a few months later, I'd be like, well, I packed 17 days early. Yeah. I'm headed up.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that was like, I think, the beginning of your manifestation era. Like, you really saying verbally, I want this to happen. And then you made it happen.
And it was like, it should have been a sign. I didn't know what I was looking at the time. But that trip, I was adamant. It was just a friend. And he had things he wanted to do. And I was like, I don't. There is a master room with a jacuzzi tub. There's a hot tub. There's a balcony. There's wine. And there's coffee. And he's like, are you going to eat? I don't know. Don't feel like it right now. And I would just cycle, right? I got the master. I would be in the jacuzzi tub in the morning. Get out and get me some coffee. He would get irritated that I'm not eating. He would bring me food, order me food. And then we would transition, right? He would go do whatever it was he was doing. I'm on the balcony, and I'm listening to music and reading and doing whatever, writing. Later in the day, hot tub. Done with the hot tub, back in the jacuzzi tub. And that big-ass bed, I slept right in the middle of it. I had, and the extra pillows in the closet, I had it too. Move up here, and what do?
Same thing.
Yeah, I'm like, I love it. I was manifesting, didn't even know it.
Yep, absolutely. Well, we probably should get back to work. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Elite Life with Sam. Until next time.
Razzle dazzle.